ha ha ha. And we be live. We are alive and we're live. The goal of the stream is to at least finish a page today. I was distracted all day. It feels like life, not life, but today's just been pissing by. And I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even finish a page. And I was supposed to work on a... What was it? Yeah, I wanted to work on like the backlogs, like future pages of Purgatory Academy Chapter 2. I'm sorry. I had to burp a little bit. I'm drinking Dr. Pepper while I'm working right now. I wanted to also, let me tell also, if you're watching this in the past, I mean in the future, these are live stream recordings. Do you guys even care if I just ramble on for about like an hour and a half if nobody shows up on the stream, and then I just cut it off? Because I notice like when I don't even say anything, I just go on a trail of thought and I ramble. Right now I'm setting up. That's why you're not seeing anything. Also, I'm not having like camera on today because I don't feel like it. Who cares? Uh, but I don't know. Let me know if you guys even care about these streams or not. Because I'm all about the interactions. I'm really hankering down, making content every day to see if what works, what doesn't work. Because I want to be a comic guy first, content creator second, and I want the comic to be the main focus of what I do. But I can't do that. I shouldn't say I can't. I don't want to limit myself, but it's hard to do that if I don't. Well, that brush is a little bit too thick, but I'll see. I'll see if I can work with it. But I can't do that unless. Well, let me finish my thought. I can't do that unless I go where the people are and show them what I'm working on. And a lot of people are on YouTube. I mean, they're also on Twitch, but on Twitch, if you want a live stream, you got to get like 1,000 followers and whatnot. And that's not happening, especially with my slow-paced content and the way that I present myself. I'm sure if I created a way to make something, to make like a TikTok content, TikTok content that tells a story while presenting the stories of my comic, I would probably do well. And like the format of TikTok too, I'll probably do well. Well, I did try to do that with the first update. Oh my gosh, I need those fingers are too bony. I'll make it cartoony. I want to do that. I tried to do that with the first update of that I did for this channel for like a Chimera Island, the sibling rivalry, like something short form, something that has like scripted and tells people a segment of the update, right? However, I don't like scripting. I don't like scripting videos. I don't like TikTok's way of storytelling. And I know it's like pretty cringe to say I don't like it, but I guess it'll be easier to say it doesn't come as natural to me. And there's things that people can work at. I guess I'm a firm believer in talent, right? There are some things that comes natural than others, to people than others. And when it comes to like video content creation, I don't think that comes naturally to me. Because I can do my best. I can try the hardest to make like a cool little video, cool with all the editing, all the tricks and tips when it comes to high format, high retention editing, like Mr. Beast videos. Which I don't know. Let me know if you guys ever seen a Mr. Beast video. I haven't. I feel like when you're old, when you start noticing celebrities that you've never seen a single thing for, like a single piece of content for, and everybody talks about them. Like you can't get away from them. I don't know. Maybe it's like a thing when it comes to not really caring about what other people are into, what the zeitgeist is. what the zeitgeist is saying, what's cool, what's popular, what's not. I mean, I'm rambling right now while I'm drawing this. This you might think that this is like a pre-recorded, but it really isn't. I'm just I guess I'm just naturally doing this, but right now I'm in like autopilot mode. It's hard to do this um when you're doing sketches, but when it comes to like line art, like I don't really need to think when it comes to line art. My brain is saying, okay, is on autopilot. It's telling my hand, okay, just draw this. Just turn these red lines to black lines and just follow the lines and then you're good. And also I remember when I was in high school doing art, my art teacher was like really was kind of amazed how students would be able to like make art when it while drawing, because I remember she said, I can't believe I remember her name right now. I remember I was in a conversation. I don't know if I should like freaking talks or whatever. But I remember I was in a conversation. I wanted to remember her name, but it wasn't coming up. But now I remember her name right now. But I remember her saying that she was amazed how her students in my class at the time could just talk and just draw at the same time. For me, like school was more or less like a social club. I mean, I wasn't. I mean, I didn't have problems socializing with people, but I'll just say that I wasn't at school just for I wasn't at school for the education either, you know. But it was easy for me to talk to other people while I draw, because drawing is like therapeutic in a way, and I can't. I don't think I even did this right. Yeah, drawing is a therapeutic in a way, and I don't think I would be able to. There are some parts of drawing that comes easier than others, like I said. But like when it comes down to a lot of the, I guess this is like more of the therapeutic parts where you just don't have to think a lot, honestly. But with that being said, I guess the reason why I'm doing this right now, because I was very distracted in the morning, because I've been spending all of my time last night, yesterday and Saturday and Sunday just playing Red Dead Redemption 2. The story mode, and I just finished the story mode. And I really wanted to make a video about my general thoughts of Red Dead 2, because and instead of I think it was because like when I get invested in stories, I tend to think about them a lot. And when I think about things a lot, I tend to just talk to myself like when I'm doing and with these streams, because right now there's nobody in these streams. Also, if you want to join me in this stream, follow and subscribe or whatever. But I know the majority of people who's like probably looking at my streams are people who are already subscribed to me. And I guess if I was looking at my face at the top right screen, even I would probably be distracted. And the reason why I'm doing this right now is because I was super distracted. I was like talking to Matt, the co-writer of this series right here, about my general thoughts of Red Dead Redemption 2. And what I usually do, after I finish a game, I look at reviews. I like looking at reviews after I finish my game, so I don't feel crazy about it's like a mix of affirmation and making sure if I don't feel crazy for thinking about certain things of the story or the characters. And for anybody who never played Red Dead Redemption 2, I think I only saw like 2-3 videos about it. And one of the things that kind of was weird for me, my personal experience with like the story of Red Dead 2, was that freaking the character Dutch, I really felt for him. I know the narrative really wanted him to be narrative really wanted him to be the bad guy, and for the majority of chapters, well, it was a 6 chapter. Yeah, it's a 6 chapter game, I believe. For like chapters 5 and 6, it just didn't make sense to me why he was like a bad guy until he started. Yeah, spoilers, I guess, or Red Dead 2. That game's like 5 years old by now. But it really didn't make sense for me for him to be like a bad guy, or why the narrative was like saying, okay, now he's bad. For especially the starting points of the Dutch going crazy when they drowned the Italian guy in the river. It was like it was very weird because the way that Dutch took care of him, he like drowned him in the river and like fed him to crocodiles, and like one of his crewmates, one of his subordinates, one of Dutch's subordinates, after he like drowned a dude and fed him to crocodiles, he's like, man, that's kind of messed up. And I was like, what are you guys talking about? Didn't you guys literally just end an entire bloodline of guys and kill and like led and freaking burned down the matriarch's house in front of the entire, and like around her, the freaking dead bodies of her sons. It's on a dead body of her sons, and burned her like her home down right in front of her. And I was like, how can you guys really say that? It didn't make sense to me. And some characters like Sadie Adler, I didn't like her that much, mostly because I know okay, first off, I think a lot of like girl bosses are written in a very cringe manner, because in the world of Red Dead, you know, cowboys and all that stuff, everybody's a cowboy, but nobody really wants to be a cowboy, or just an outlaw. I would say nobody wants to be an outlaw unless they're forced to do that, or they are, yeah, unless they're forced to do that, or they're just vindictive people, right? And the character of Sadie Adler, she is just a vindictive person, and everybody's generally okay with that. Like throughout the narrative, Dutch has a bone to pick with the O'Driscolls, I believe, or like the O'Driscolls, and freaking Arthur was like, no, man, you don't want to go down the road of revenge. It's a fool's game. It's a fool's errand. But later in the game, there's a whole side quest of Sadie wanting to like end the final, like kill the last remaining like O'Driscoll boys in the freaking state. And if you help her out, you get your Reddit karma for helping out the girl boss. And it didn't make sense. I was like, what the heck happened to like revenge being a fool's errand, a fool's game? Like, I get that they really wanted to be like, oh man, they took my husband, they took everything away from me. I'm like, and she's like, oh man, I know how it's not gonna get it back. But I'm like, why are we doing this then? But hey, that's like that's kind of me. That's just me. But I guess that's the problem with going off the cuff and like talking about nothing for a long amount of time. So I don't know how these streams are going. Like I said, this stream was mostly meant for me to focus on drawing, because working in the morning, I just got too caffeinated and too distracted to do anything really productive or make good progress. I think what I want to do for this stream is to at least finish doing the line art of this page, because the way that I usually work on pages, I start with the line art first. Oh yeah, if you guys want me to do like a more descriptive Red Dead, my thoughts on Red Dead Redemption, I can probably like go back to the text messages I had with Matt, and just like bullet them, have like proper bullet points, and I could probably talk about it for like 30 minutes and have the entire Red Dead community kill me or something like that. They'll have a bounty on my head. No, so yeah. See, let's see if that'll be fun. A fun thing to do. But yeah, I played it on the PS4. I think I had that game for a while because my sister had a phase where she was like playing a lot of video games, and she bought Red Dead, and I like several years ago, and I was like, oh wow, that's cool, but I never really touched it because it it didn't bring any appeal to me. I didn't see any the immediate appeal because I felt like I didn't like playing video games for a while. No, give me a sec. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, I felt like I didn't like playing video games for a while until I started playing Red Dead. Uh, so that was a pleasant surprise, and it just made me want to talk about it for a while. But this is just an unscripted thing. I'm just flying, talking through the seat of my pants. Um, I also wanted to, that reminds me of me wanting to make a video, another video. Uh, Not I don't know if it was like story related per se, but the video was mostly about how I just fell out of love with like video games in terms of a means of narration of storytelling because it's so strange in today's world of the medium. First, I gotta check if if my mic is actually working. This is such a weird thing. All right, it's actually working. That's awesome. So, as I was saying, I was thinking about making a video about how lackluster a lot of games when it comes to how they tell their story. Um, I guess like for example, I was playing Mafia 3, which is probably not a great game to begin with. Um, I when it comes to a lot of no, Mafia 3 is like not the biggest uh crime. I think the biggest crime is me playing bad games. But but the game I had in question was the Outer Wilds, I guess, from the dudes who that championed the Fallout New Vegas series. And Fallout New Vegas, it still falls under this problem that I have with like story, like video games using like story, how they present their stories, and I really dislike the way how exposition is presented for the majority of types of games, where it's just a talking head. They sit you down, and you have to look at a guy dispelling exposition in the most boring way possible. In the most, it, it's mostly it makes me want to jump around. It makes sense when you look at a. It reminds me of when you play Half-Life 2, and when you have like those segments where people talk to you, and you just like jump around like a child on Ritalin or something like that. It really, I feel like that's a symptom. That is a symptom of games not utilizing the blend of interactivity with the story that they want to tell. And I think games like Dark Souls or I forgot that one game. It was a did I say Dark Souls? No, there's a Dark Souls like game. I don't think Dark Souls does a good job when it comes to a good mix of storytelling and uh, in gameplay. Dark Souls is all about gameplay and not a lot about storytelling. Um, I wouldn't in that and to that extension. I don't think Doom 2016 was a good idea. Is a good example either. Uh, when you have to go out of your way to look at the story, then I don't think it's a good example of storytelling per se. And it's cool. Like not every game is out here trying to tell a story. Some games are just out here just wanting to be fun. And I say if you know what you want to do, that's great. That's amazing. If it don't apply, then let it fly. I remember a guy saying, but I think the weird thing about a lot of games that I've just been playing is how they really want to be movies, and B, they really just don't blend the fact that I want to play the game and get information at the same time. I think a game that does this really great is BioShock, actually. Um, with the audio logs that play while you explore. It's kind of like when you're at a museum and uh, you look at a set piece and there's like some audio that plays while you're looking around. It I'm not gonna say it like it immerses you in the it maybe like I said, it immerses in a way, but it like you're giving two forms of information at the same time while not being bored. You know, they do it. It's a really weird way of. I don't think a lot of games have really expanded upon how to tell their story. I guess the bigger budget games, I would say, and I guess that's going to change. I'm not talking about indie games at all because indie games are they're mostly their own beast in the sense of they don't need to. I don't say I don't need. That's not what the word that I'm trying to say. I gotta think a little. Well, in terms of indie games, the hardest part about indie games is like just the discoverability of it. Unless everybody's talking about your game, then nobody's talking about your game, especially in what I think. It's a very general oversimplification because there are tons of indie games that I've never heard about just because I'm not in the space. That's just it. And people are able to develop a community with the small group of people that they're able to cultivate just by implementing very smart marketing tactics. But I think when it comes to like a lot of indie games, it's I'm just not looking for it per se, and just the hunt of looking for good indie games is just a huge time sink, and that really makes me think. Actually, like I want good games. I want to play good games. I want to like digest good media, right? But it's very difficult to do that unless something is shoved in my face for 30 seconds and it ticks all the right boxes of me spending my time with that piece of media. And I think it is rapidly freaking exponentially difficult nowadays, honestly, because you're when you're in the game of attention. I think dudes who create memes or just dudes who create memes or just actual companies, they understand how to get people's attention. Like I remember binge watching a whole bunch of different what they call it videos like G something GDC or whatever. It was like a video games conference, saying how memes were an effective strategy when it comes to marketing your stuff. And the hard thing about me is like I said earlier in the stream, some techniques are easier for people to adopt than others. You know, Because like you would have like 16-year-olds who they just hop on Instagram or Twitter or whatever, and they just create memes easy, and that's just it. They just get 1,000, 10,000 people to like follow them, and that's just bank, just off of stolen content, right? And when you try to do that with your own stuff, well, I think I tried it once. It wasn't an instant hit. I think that's the main problem with what I do with things in general. I will try something, but as soon as I just get bored or I'm just not seeing any sort of instant gratification from it, I quit. Oh, I quit pretty soon. And when it comes to like instant gratification, I don't care about going viral, right? Um I mostly care about getting interactions, like how many people will stop and say, "Oh, hey, yeah, this is good." Because nothing's more annoying to me than putting effort into something and not having anybody say anything about it. I think the only thing that I will work on that I'll have patience on with little output from it is making comics or making what I'm making right now. But like when it comes to literally anything else, if anything else has like the amount of patience or the amount of that requires the amount of patience or requires the amount of just overall overall like determination of just posting out into the abyss, it is annoying. It is I always my mind always goes to like what is the alternative? What else can I do? Because this isn't working, right? You know what I mean? My mind is always when I see something that I think about, maybe I don't uh I need to, like I usually like reevaluate what I'm looking for when I try something new, when something fails. Because when you get like getting viewers is cool. But the thing that I've learned is viewership eyeballs are not equally as valuable. Where like every eyeballs on different platforms are not equally valuable. Like 1,000 views on TikTok is not the same as 1,000 views on YouTube, as 1,000 views on Reddit or 1,000 views are on other platforms, so to speak. It's not fun. It's not fun, when it comes to like posting things and to nobody, essentially, especially when you're starting out, because there's not really like a well known game plan of getting people interested in what you want to do. And that's the weird thing about, I don't even know the marketing of social media. Like what is even the point of social media to begin with? It really makes you think, why do people have it? To follow, like, I guess to follow celebrities. Why is that so important? Why is it so important to want to know what a person thinks about topics that doesn't pertain to them in the first place? My mind has just been running like this all day. When I walk, when I try to like focus on making comics, my mind has just been racing, and it's um I don't know if it's something that I want to turn off, because it helps keep me active. It helps as long as it's not like very much how would I put this? As long as it's not negative, you know, then I think it's good. I think it reminds me of like what my predicament right now is like. It just puts me on another topic, I guess. Um, when it comes to streaming like this, I remember that stream that when I first started streaming, it was like very difficult for me to to do what I'm doing right now because I would just look at I would look at streamers and see the active chat, you know, and I'm like, oh wow, people are just like looking at or interacting with other people. They're just hanging out, they're just talking, and I'm like, oh yeah, I can do that too. But the thing is, I don't, I don't even have. Nobody knows who I am, and that was like the that is the biggest thing when it comes to doing anything. Just trying to get people to know who you are, and the biggest the biggest way I know I'm familiar with like getting people to bring you attention to pay attention to you. It's just hijacking other people's relevancy to make to associate your your brand or whatever your personality onto another famous personality. Just like basically reaction content. Um, I it really makes me think, right? And this is kind of like why I related to Dutch when it comes to. It was hard for me to see Dutch as a villain for the majority of like the the latter two parts of Red Dead 2 because when you're trying a lot of things, you know, trying to make something work, you will take measures that you originally didn't want to do, right? And I see that. Like if I guess before I would be like, no, I'm not going on X, Y, and Z website because I don't feel like I need to do that right now. And as time goes on, and I'm not getting noticed by the what on the websites that I do want to be noticed on, I start thinking back, and I started to be like, okay, maybe if I move somewhere else. I saw that on Reddit, and I got like I got an early win, but now that early win is drying up, and I'm going back to obscurity. Um, and I have no problem with obscurity, uh, unless I have enough money so I can be comfortably obscure. And I know people are like, yeah, get a job if you want to make money. If you want to make money, then you get a job. And I'm like, that's wow, that's a really cool insight, man. If you want to get maybe if you want to help me out, maybe you can just shut up too. That's also a fact. That's also a factor, you know. I guess it's weird. It's a very weird thing. Um, I was thinking about this a lot, especially when comes to jobs and such. Um, it's I would have a lot of conversations about this, like think about this a lot, and I know like getting a job would be like would it be easier for me? That's the like the real question because I've had jobs before, and when things get too I would say unnecessary. I have no problems like dropping it, right? Like if I have no problems dropping it because at the end of the day, when I see a job, I think, oh, I do this to get money. I like a job isn't like something that's stable to me. I don't see a job as something that's that stable, right? Because I cannot like it. Like I cannot like what I do, and that will bring down that will result in a lack of productivity. That'll make it a problem to the people that I'm around. that's gonna make it a problem for the entire environment. If I'm told to shape up, I'm not. That's like. Like that's gonna be equivalent to telling a depressed person that like stop feeling bad. You know what I mean? It's like, have you tried not like being sad? And it's just not gonna be a good environment for me. You know, I don't see in my mind. It doesn't seem like a in my mind. It doesn't seem like a possible outlet. You know, and it's just a self fulfilling cycle of pessimism. And I feel like this creating stories is my purpose. I feel like it is what I'm put here on this earth to do because it's something that I'm naturally good at. Um, and I feel like it's something that's beneficial for myself and the people who read it. And that's why I want it to be seen by more people. That's the reason why I uh make my stuff to be read for free. You know? Mostly because I'm not gonna say mostly because another reason why that it just feels like a good move to me because the the amount of times that I've been at this for like a 2-3 years or something. Like I'm terrible at letting people know who I am, you know. And if I can have like the best thing ever, but I'm not loud. Nobody like I've been doing this for X amount of years, and nobody knows who I am. And that and I don't really care. And like in the same way, I don't care if people don't know who I am. I just want people to look at the stuff that I make. And the reason why I'm doing this right now is that I see that this as the best plan in my disposal of what I can do. Like I've tried hiring some other people out for in terms of like marketing, but hey, I made some bad investments, and that's just and I don't have a lot of I don't have a lot of money. I don't have a lot of money, and I made a lot of bad investments, so that's probably why that I'm not doing that anytime soon until I get more money doing something that works. Um, but I digress. I don't feel like I'm fulfilling a purpose with a lot of the jobs that go my way. But it's not really about purpose, it's about money. If it's about money, then I'd rather then I can say making money is easy. What's hard is the moralities that we put upon each other. We put on ourselves. And I know that sounds like a super villain quote, but people like I've been scammed out of $90 like on my bank account because some other dude wants to scan Lyft, and Lyft scams their workers by giving them like less wages, maybe because everybody keeps scamming them, and we're all powered by our debt society, or we're all powered by like money in this society that's also is a scam that's backed up by debt. You know, people owing money, so they're just stealing it from each other, and everybody's trying to trade their time for money, and if I can find a way to break that and encourage more people to create value. I'm not gonna say create what they want, because creating what you want is lame and stupid and dumb. If I hot take, by the way, artist hot take. Everybody like don't create what you want, create value. Um, if I have the possibility to find a way to blend what I'm doing right now in creating value, That'd be great. If I can do it and find a formula that is repeatable, that will be great. I can I can show I would love to show as much people as possible to create value, not creating what they want, but creating value with their artistic endeavors. I guess I never really liked the system that I grew up in. It's not like the worst thing ever. It's just a thing that I see that failed me. Um, or I probably would have done well if I applied. No, I applied. No, I'm not gonna say that. I applied myself to the best of my abilities, and it just didn't pan out in my mind. It just really didn't pan out in my mind. And now I gotta function in this world that I still haven't really figured. I still don't even know why I should. You know, there's. I know it's easy to say there's too many things that's like against me, but I could probably there's way too many things that's against me, but I can't really name a single thing. You know, and I think that's mostly because that I don't like to think about it. Like I don't like to think about a lot of my brain does a thing where if I don't like the memory I noticed, or if it's not really relevant to me, I just don't think about it. And I notice I shrug off a lot of things because the majority of my day is I want to I want to make a living off of like the comics that I make. And if some information goes my way that doesn't lead me towards that goal, I just like chuck it from my mind. I just put it in the vault, and I'll be like, I'll bring like, huh, that's interesting. I'll bring that up when it matters. If it doesn't matter, then whatever. So that's I guess when you're ever in a conversation with me or just listening to this my rambling for I don't know how long by now. I'm not even going to look at the time. Um, if you've just been listening to me for this entire time so far, you can tell that now I'm talking, just talking. I don't know how long I'm able to do this. Actually, I should have done this tomorrow. Actually, no. No, I forgot. The reason that I did this was because this whole I should have done this a thing earlier. I should have done I should have done more of this thing earlier, and I wanted a reason to be more productive and probably make more content on YouTube. And the one thing about YouTube is that's very interesting to me is the most important part of a YouTube video is like probably the first 10 seconds. I've heard it's it's so much of a rarity for people to be here, um, to stay this long at a YouTube video for like over 5 minutes. Because I remember when I was doing a lot of podcasts, every time I do something new, I do like a crap ton of research. And I was thinking of maybe I should try Spotify. Maybe I should try iTunes. Maybe I should try iTunes. Maybe I should try X, Y, and Z. And the reason why I settled on YouTube because their algorithm, they actually have an algorithm that you can actually tell, uh, get like the statistics of statistics, analytics of who's looking at your stuff for how long and like what's the drop off and all that good stuff. And I don't think other podcast places provided that. And I think YouTube is probably like taking over the podcasting game. So I've heard. And I'm thinking about maybe just starting a new channel of just re-hosting the podcast stuff on the second channel because I think the channel this channel that I have right now, I'm just getting like a whole bunch of different worries and theories because I'm looking at the analytics and the videos are not showing up to. It's rare for a video to show up on recommendeds that are even close to the topic of the video. Like I probably get like something in Hindi like on a video when it shows up because apparently I think India is probably India's like uh the freaking I think India like outgrows the American audience on YouTube. If it's yeah, I think so. I think overall there's more like English speakers, like American, like English speakers on YouTube than like like Indian people. But I think by right now Indian people are like the whole country of India is the majority of the internet. And I remember I say that because I was what I do is an unhealthy thing, so don't do it. But sometimes when I'm laying in bed, I would look at YouTube videos, or like just random YouTube videos that I want to fill my brain, like some did you know videos about YouTube, like did you know like link videos or did you know video game stuff. But sometimes I like to look at like stupid stuff like like the most the most popular uh the most popular websites or like the demographic of the most popular websites. And usually the most popular demographic on like every websites are just Indian people. And like looking at the video, looking at the comment section, you would have Indian people be like, "Oh yeah," because like some guy, like I forgot his name because it's hard to remember names, but some guy basically opened up the internet, like like internet access to like everybody in India. So after that happened, like it was just majority of Indians just just conquering the internet. And I had no idea. It's so freaking weird, but I guess that's like the power of algorithms and just showing content that's made specifically to you. And it reminds me of I forgot what was the context of this. I think it just oh yeah, I was watching a freaking Sneeko video. That's another weird pastime that I have. I like listening to drama of like internet personalities. I really shouldn't because it's honestly if somebody's making like an hour long documentary of another internet personality, that's weird to me. That's like no, not like not but like all like a whole hour long documentary just criticizing one person just to live rent free in their minds. But actually no, it's not rent free because most likely it's monetized. It's mostly monetized, but that's still freaking weird to me. Like talking about like spending an hour just by talking about a guy, just some guy named Sneeko or whatever. And you might like a lot. I know he's like a weirdo that has a history of stuff on the internet, like being in like the red pill or just the YouTube stuff or whatever. I don't care about like a lot of that stuff, but the whole sentiment of just like talking about it, just the whole sentiment of like just spending an hour talking about somebody that does not affect anybody in your circle. But hey, like I said, it is the internet. It is being a professional complainer, and I don't know what I was gonna go with that, but oh yeah, algorithms. Yeah, algorithms. Um, and like the whole purpose of that, like Sneeko thing, was the whole pipeline of becoming like, oh yeah, a moderate guy that leans more into more radical thoughts. And the whole algorithms don't help when it comes to like political stuff because it shows content that you want to that will reinforce that those biases. And that reminds me of the more you see something or if you see like different whatchamacallit, different. If you see like a similar sentiment, but spoken by different people, like you register that as truth because you're seeing it. You seeing it, right? Mostly, but by different people. I just repeated myself as if I said two things, but I digress. I'm doing I'm doing a lot of self reflection. This is essentially my video diary, right? Which is not healthy. It really depends on like how much I share. And that brings me to another topic that's been on my mind for a while. As I take a sip of my Dr. Pepper, I think I've just been caffeinated too much today. That's probably my problem. But I think one thing that was very much, like I said, I guess it goes on earlier in the video. Doing things like trying to achieve a goal without guidance. You end up doing things that you didn't think that you would be able to do before. And this is very much a product of that, you know? Like, I didn't think I would be talking this much. Like, I've been streaming before, but was mostly in silence. Mostly wanted to be entertaining when people get in the room. But because if I found out that I wasn't entertaining, then I guess I would say, if I wasn't entertaining, then I wouldn't feel like the stream needed to be up. And now I don't feel like I'm forced to say anything anymore. I've just been journaling a lot, and I've just been trying to vent all of these, I guess, frustrations that I have. And it's so weird because a lot, you hear a lot of stuff about parasocial relationships, right? And I feel like I know enough about it that it's insane. Like, everybody knows what a parasocial relationship is, right? And it's difficult to just try to be in the public consciousness. Like, for me, I want to get to a point as of March 4th, 2014. I want to get to a point where my work is more interesting than me, because I don't feel like I'm an interesting person. I don't want to be like I guess that's a humbleness speaking. But what everybody finds some different things interesting. It's like when I used to go to the flea and farmers market. I used to go there every Saturday and Sunday instead, but I stopped for like the first 2 months of this year because I needed to find a way to. Oh shucks! I dropped my stylus. I will need to find a way to make more money. And I remember when I was out in the flea and farmers markets, I usually just ask people their interests, what are they into. A, it's a way to build rapport, and B, it's very interesting to see how different people are, and when you talk to somebody that has like a similar interest or interest that you've heard before, you feel like it makes you feel like you actually have. It makes the person feel like you know a little bit more what they're talking about, because that's another person. Because like it's funny because like a lot of you the person might not feel the person might feel that you know what they're talking about, and makes the world feel a little bit smaller in a way, or it just makes people feel a little bit more connected, I guess. And it's a very weird way to like build a connection with people. And use it for the stories you write in the future. It helps to make people feel more real. Honestly, the the side characters in your story feel more real. Um, I remember listening to Film Courage, and some guy was asking his mentor, like, how does he make dialogue sound more realistic? Because like in his screenplays, he was like, whoa, you're like a master at writing dialogue. Like, how do you write dialogue so naturally? And he replied, you just listen to people. I remember when I was writing the first chapter of book 3 of Purgatory Academy. Um, I was like, it was me going, like jumping back on the bandwagon of writing, right? And after like if it's like a muscle, writing is like a muscle. If you don't do it for a while, you kind of get a little bit rusty. So I think like the first chapter had like 2 drafts. Like it had like 2 or 3 drafts, and then like the rest was just one draft. Because when it comes to like writing, the first draft is just for me to understand what's going on. The second draft is, wait, let me see. Why is it? Did I do it wrong? What? Why is this darker? I guess it just is. Okay, back to this. Back to what I'm talking about. The first draft is just for me to understand what's going on. The second draft is me just talking about. Oh, I'm not talking. Sorry. The second draft is more of me trying to understand what how to refine it, and the second draft is usually through either laying down the mostly laying down the speech bubbles, and I just railroad the entire thing. Not really looking back because I plan a lot. And the weird thing about drafts, I remember I got this sentiment from a guy that was, he was reviewing ISOM, like Eric July's book, and I remember, like, I guess it's a big deal in like the whole writer space where you never do your first, like you never submit your first draft as the final draft. There's always got to be room for improvement. And my thing is, when you're like independent, it really doesn't matter. You just got to embrace the mistakes. Because I don't think people will care that much. Me personally, I don't think people care that much. People will see the bigger picture more than they will see the details. And if people will see the details, I think if I had a second draft of like Metal Hero, yeah, it would absolutely be better because I put more time into it. But at the same time, my skill level at the point of writing this was kind of at a point where I didn't was kind of at a point where it was A, very run and gun, and B, like we were writing it as if that this was just gonna be like an open shut thing. And I guess that's a pretty bad excuse. It was bad. I don't think it could have been better. I'm not gonna say it's bad. I say it could have been better. But do you know what I'm talking about? Just go watch the second chapter of the second chapter recap of Metal Hero. It also features the co-writer Matt, and he's pretty cool. But I don't think second drafts matter too much if you're a small creator. The most important thing is having it done. And at the very end, there's always going to be something to nitpick at the end of the day. So perfection doesn't exist. People will see the end result. People will enjoy the end result and what the series made them feel at the end of the day. I guess that's what I'm really trying to say. And I feel like with the Eric July book, what made people really feel like his genuine fans, there's genuine fans really wanted to feel good for supporting somebody that they like, you know. Because I read the first Isom book and I was not impressed. I don't think it was that great. I think I gave it like a 4 out of 10. I didn't like any of the characters, and I'm not saying that those characters were meant to be likable. I mean, in a way that I could not root for them, or I don't know why I should care about their plight. And it's a funny thing to say because when it comes to stories, I'm a complete sociopath, and I think everybody should be. I think everybody is should be to some extent, because some stories are out to like basically manipulate your emotions or get you to change your mind about a certain topic, or a certain theme. So that's why I usually have my guard up when I listen to stories. I love storytelling, but in its in its root, it's manipulative. It's manipulative. So, and it tries to tell you a tale. Stories tries to tell you a tale of fake people, of a fake scenario, of fake events, but the end goal is to change your mind about a certain goal or a certain topic. That's why I'm. That's why I feel that I say you got to be very sociopathic about when it comes about like why should I care about this character. And that's why I see like a lot of characters be like, oh man, they're an orphan, oh man, they have been dealt a bad sign in life. It's very very fast ways to get people to be empathetic of your protagonist. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And all the times you just gotta try to see what works. But with Eric July's book, I really couldn't get down with what's really happening. I couldn't really get down with any of the characters' plights or what they're trying to do. And I forgot what I was going with this. I don't really have a problem with Eric July. Personally, I like I know the guy. I don't have a problem with him or what he's doing. I see him as an inspiration, of the fact that if people like your, it's like a confirmation of if people like you, they want to support you, and it really doesn't matter what you're doing. A lot of people want. It's like it reminds me of how people would like rag on nepotism, but like it's like nepotism is pretty awesome. You know what? I think nepotism is pretty cool. It's you. How would I put this? I guess. I'm sorry. I'm trying to focus on this thing. I'm trying to focus on how to get this thing right. Yeah, I just don't have a. Shucks. I merged them. Actually, I don't really need to expand upon that because I don't think people are listening this long. I guess this is the cool part about being obscure. Nobody knows who I am until like I blow up, and somebody from the future is gonna be like, I gotta find dirt. Like this guy, he doesn't deserve the I forgot what it's called. He doesn't deserve the amount of clout he's getting, which I always love. I love it when people feel like they deserve like anything. In my personal view, I don't think anybody deserves anything. I really hate the phrase. I really hate the phrase. Like when somebody wins an art award, I really hate the phrase "you deserve it," because you have like other contestants that worked as hard, if not harder, to get that award. And when it comes to like clout on the internet, You have people that worked harder than me on their stuff, if not harder. Hypothetically, if I make it, hypothetically, if I have clout, hypothetically, if I am able to pay rent by making smart business decisions with my comics, hypothetically, if I was able to do this, I think I don't think it would, even if I make it, I don't think it would be deserved. I would absolutely think that it has been earned. Earning something is one thing, but deserving something is another. Wait, hold up. I freaking I'm missing out on something. Okay, somebody replied to a Coffee Comics thing that I said. Anyway, sorry for the break, but I don't think anybody deserves anything, no matter how hard you work. You don't deserve recognition. You earn recognition. You maybe earned recognition, and that's a different thing. To earn something, it really doesn't matter how hard you worked. It really doesn't matter how it really doesn't matter how much you want something, because when you earn something, you inherit it, and when you inherit it, that means it was never yours. Well, it was never yours to begin with. It was granted to you by powers beyond your beyond your comprehension, I guess. In the lack of a better word, it was by powers beyond you. But if you deserve something, that's like a birthright. like, like somebody's. So that, I guess it really does come down to like how you see these words and how these words are used. Because like when somebody says you deserve an art award, like no, this person doesn't deserve anything. Like it wasn't like this art award wasn't their birthright. They're man, but that's mostly me. That's mostly me. I feel like, let's see. I'm gonna get done drawing this burning building real quick. Words you never thought you'd say. Never thought I'd say today. I gotta get done drawing this burning building. After I draw this burning building, I'll call this I'll call this stream a close, because I know like absolutely nobody's listening in on this right now. And while I draw this burning building right now, one of the things I usually think about, I guess I listen to a lot of content when it comes to internet personalities, quote unquote canceled internet personalities, mostly because I usually think if I make it or whatever, if I become more notable than the series that I create, which I gosh darn it, like, I mean, I'll have some pretty mixed feelings about that. I would think about like, all right, what usually comes to mind is like, what would be my thing? What would people dislike about me? And it's not like a fear thing. It's mostly like, oh man, that's gonna be interesting. Like that's gonna be lit. You know, because I usually think about like, well, freaking who cares about Twitter in a way? But I guess it really makes me think about like the whole when like Wendigoon was when people were like crapping on him for a while, and I don't know that much about Wendigoon other than like, I don't know, he's a Christian, I guess. I don't know, and that's a narrative that I've heard, and I was like, wow, if that's true. I say if because I don't know the guy. What would they do? What's my thing? what's my what's my cancel Sona? You know, I'm gonna be, I'm gonna be, what's oh man. Uh, what would be my what would be my cancel Sona? I'd say like maybe because I'm Christian, I do have like unpopular opinions, but right now it's like I don't really need people talk. Like nobody's asking me about them, so I don't really need to say them, and plus they're not really relevant. What's on my job right now is like what I'm trying to do on my job right now is like, oh man, I need people to. I really like it if people would just like freaking buy my stuff, subscribe to my Substack or whatever, so I can, or at least like buy the digital version of the books. Like I would be like more controversial if like if need be, I guess, but like I don't have a lot of friends. I don't. My mind has really shifted on the idea of friends, honestly, for the past couple of years. Um, like I don't think like I don't have a lot of friends. I don't know if like I'm not an agreeable person. I don't think, but that's why I'm not really afraid of it. But at the same time, a lot of internet drama is just like not like a big waste of time. And I feel like if I wasn't such a firm believer of preserving your time or like using your time wisely, like I feel like a lot more people would know about me because I'd probably be like a political guy. Lucky there's a political guy. Um, I feel like I'd be like more of a political guy and just grifting on like one side or another, saying that they're coming, saying that one side is like coming for your kids while the other side is like, oh man, I would love to talk about like not politics of it itself, but just like the chess play of how a lot of these politics are operated. Because I feel how they move, like how people move, is more interesting to me than what they say. Like what they say is very, I don't know how that if that makes sense, right? Like the the tactics of the left and the right. The tactics of the left are very much are like are very interesting to me. Like speak like just like in a chess game, as if you like, and if if the goal of the game is to have as much people um, adopt your belief, that like they are really killing it. That's really cool. And the right are just terrible at it. And how they try to cope with that is a very interesting thing to like look at in real time. Like I'm not saying like, oh man, I go raw for one guy or another, because I don't, whatever, bro. Like I just want to make comics. I just want to make comics. um and like when it comes to like any kind of like quote unquote woke entertainment, I'm just like, stop talking about it, dude. Make your own stuff. Make stuff that you find interesting, that you want to talk about, that makes you want to go like, oh man, that sucks. By the way, check out like, oh man, that sucks. But hey, I'm trying to make this whole thing. Well, I know some people are doing that. I know like what was that guy? Like you see one of this guy's videos, and he's on your like freaking YouTube freaking recommended forever. Um, Comics Matter with your boy Zach. Like you see one video of his, and like he won't leave like your recommendations. I guess that's also why I'm trying to like make videos every day. It would be like, I want you to like see me every day or like get ignored. You're gonna love me or you're gonna hate me, and you're only gonna hate me because of my grind right now. That's me. But personally, that's just me. I really think this is the caffeine talking. I don't think these streams are healthy. these streams are absolutely not healthy because I'm like, like it's not healthy to do not every day, but like every other day because I don't know. Actually, I've been having this theory, right? That's probably like the caffeine. It's very much maybe the caffeine. Because I remember on Saturday I woke up and I had like the worst headache of my life. Being hyperbolic, but hey, like nobody's gonna listen if I'm not hyperbolic. I had a terrible headache, and I think it's because I've just been drinking not copious. I've just been drinking coffee like every day, and the amount of coffee I drink is not even that big. It's just like 8 ounces, like from Monday to Saturday. But except for like the last Saturday because I was just off the caffeine because we ran out of coffee and all we have is like decaf, and I hate decaf because it doesn't taste as good. Mind you, I like my coffee black, so like. So when it's decaf, I'm like, this is not good. and not only that, I have my coffee with a Keurig because I don't know how to roast my own coffee. So like if I'm having like black coffee, which a lot of people apparently they don't like black coffee, and plus I'm having it with a Keurig, so that I hear a lot of people say like Keurigs they ruin the taste of coffee. But hey, there's so much that I can tolerate, right? There's only so much I can tolerate. There's always levels to it. I have standards. I have standards to my trash, all right? But but I remember I had like a really terrible headache, and I was just it was so bad. I was just re-questioning my entire life. Like, oh man, is this a sign for me to get off coffee? Is this a sign for me to like? Oh man, is this a sign that I just been abusing my body this whole time? Is this a sign that like it was like going into like I was in my bed miserable with like 3 hours like questioning my entire existence of like why I was doing everything. And then I remember my mom came home with a Waffle House, and I was like, and then I just like crawled myself downstairs to get the breakfast that she got. And then my mom was like, "You look terrible." I was like, "Yeah, I just been having this headache. It's crazy." She was like, "Did you drink water?" And I was like, "Oh no." And then and after eating a Waffle House and like having a sip of water, I was like, "Oh yeah, all right, back. Oh yeah, that's cool." But I didn't even want to go back to work because like I was like kind of lazy, so I just played Red Dead for the rest of the day. I was like, you know, I'm just gonna take a break. I am gonna respect my body a little bit or something like that. I am gonna take that break. But that's just how it goes. That's just how it goes. I think I want to redraw his legs so there'll be more of an overlap. But yeah, I really doubt if somebody. I'd be very surprised if people like made it this far into the video. If you have, just say kumquat or something in the comments. But like with me, I'm very specific when it comes to I don't care. I will watch like long form videos because I will watch long form videos just because I want something to listen to while I'm doing all this stuff while I'm drawing. But I talked about a lot. I don't think I can do another one of these streams. And not only that, I've just been you know what? He has no legs. You know what? Screw it. Metal Hero is legless. He has no legs. What if I put him a little bit lower? because I want a reason not to draw him. I want a reason not to draw his entire body. Well, yeah. What do I want my goals to be with this? I really want my goals to be to have a freaking chat that that's present, that's active in the chat room. I would love to like be in a position where I have people in the room interacting with the super chats, answering super chats, and just building value. But right now, I guess I'm still freaking 2 years. 2-3 years. It feels like it's just been trying to build value, and man, last year was such a huge push. I've just been trying everything. What really helps is like the rare times that people say that told me thank you, saying that I was an inspiration. Shout out Miguel. Shout out to man, I hate that. I hate that I forget names. Shout out to Froggy. I know Frog, like, she ain't even listening to these streams because I like she was a person that what the heck? Cancel. What the heck was that? Oh snap! What the heck was that? Oh, did YouTube made me create a new channel? What the heck happened? YouTube did an oopsie. Oh yeah, let me just switch account. Oh yeah, so anyway, shout out Dart Nightwing XL. That's what I wanted to say. But hey, we're all doing our thing. We're all doing our thing, and I think I'm done with this. This page right here. Oh wait, no, never mind. Let me do this one tiny thing because I got sidetracked. I thought I would get sidetracked a little bit more. I guess like the biggest inspiration for these, I want to do with a change of pace with these streams is if you stop being entertaining or if you just run out of things to say, you just stop streaming. I think that's like the biggest inspiration. I forgot where I heard that. It was probably like a Doug video, and I don't even watch that guy a lot. I think that was like one of the few videos that I watched from him. Well, it probably was. I don't know. It probably wasn't him. I don't think it was him. But it was probably somebody else. But I wish I learned that a little bit more. If I streamed to entertain first, or at least like talk into the void first, I would just stop feeling so freaking sad when people just don't join the stream, and there's like a bunch of emptiness. I would just be like constantly looking back to the chat and hope if somebody says something. Now when I'm just like talking to myself, it's like having a TV on in the background. Like the mind and the body working independently. The mind talking and the body drawing. But that's enough of that. I think I'm done here. Thanks so much, everybody, for everybody coming out, listening. Well, nobody came out because I'm by myself. So if you made it this far in the stream, I appreciate you. Thanks so much. And I am out of here. Y'all take care now.